Right then, to the 4x4s. And this is when you really do know the competition is coming towards a conclusion. 2 heats, or 2 semis if you want to call them that. And then the finals tomorrow. Switzerland on the outside. Quickest athletes on 2 and 4. Good quartet from Ukraine. They were 6th in Doha. Watch for Kachuk and Rizakova, the 2 400-meter hurdlers going on the 3rd and 4th legs. The Netherlands made the final in 2019 and last year in Tokyo. Watch out for Klaver on the 2nd leg and see how fast the silver medalist from the 4 hurdles bowl will go on anchor. Coetzee's had a really good season, 51.5. She's by far and away the quickest of the 4 South Africans in lane 5. Germany go in 4. Big target to chase with the South Africans outsider, Coetzee. Will take some chasing down. This is Lacoste. Pretty even in terms of their abilities. Big smile from the French, they're ready. And an excellent quartet. You'd expect nothing less from the United States, especially on home turf. And all eyes will be on Felix on the 2nd leg after picking up a bronze in the mixed 4x4. Great Britain have an excellent record when it comes to the women's 4x4. Just off the podium in Doha, 5th in Tokyo. They will feel like they're ready for an upgrade. Victoria Uhuragu, younger sister to Olympic champion Christine Uhuragu, goes on the 3rd leg. So Great Britain in 1, USA 2, France 3, Germany 4, South Africa 5, Netherlands 6, Ukraine 7, Switzerland in lane 8. This is the first of 2 semi-finals in the women's 4x4. The first 3 plus 2 non-automatic qualifiers across the 2 semis coming back for the finals at the end of the championship tomorrow night. This is a long, long leg. Watch for Coetzee, the South African, giving chase to Oosterwegel of the Netherlands. But in fact, it's Schwab who's gone out very hard indeed. The German just inside the South African. Good running from Arapipi on the inside, and Talitha Diggs has already closed down on Lacoste. The American coming through on the inside, with the Briton now just about appearing in your screen. Remember, it's a bit deceptive at the moment because it takes a long time for the stagger to unwind on this first leg. Levens on the outside for Switzerland, but Diggs has run really well from that tight lane too, you know. The Americans going well. USA lead, pretty tight in 2nd. And they will break from the bend, round the back straight. Lavia Nielsen of Great Britain has come through into 2nd place, behind Alison Felix. And let's take a moment to savour the roar for this once-in-a-2-generation athlete. Klaver's coming well into 3rd place. Nielsen beginning to close down on Alison Felix. This might be the last time we see Alison Felix representing the United States, unless they qualify for the final and put her in the team. But she knows it's about the team and not her, so her work is finished. USA from Great Britain. Oh, and that's such a shame. There was a fall on that Dutch changeover from Klaver to Peters. Peters is back on her feet, and remember they've got Boll on the anchor leg, and she ran like a woman possessed on the last leg of the mixed 4x4 to bring the Dutch home with the bronze. So they're not out of it yet, the Dutch. They're in 4th, Switzerland are in 3rd, but this is the battle between, on the left of the picture, it's Whitney of the USA with Uhuragu of Great Britain, coached by her older sister who have won so many individual and 4x4 medals. USA and Great Britain should be comfortable here unless there's a drop of the baton. This, remember, is the end of leg 3 going on to 4. USA from Great Britain. Switzerland still in 3rd place, but that leg from Kachuk the 400-meter hurdleist specialist, was fabulous by the Ukrainian. Ball's got a massive, massive deficit to make up, but she's flying and will be riding high off the confidence of getting that silver medal in the 4 hurdles last night. So watch for the Dutch woman to close in the battle for third. Step to Baines and Nicola Yergin. USA and Great Britain are a long, long way clear. It's going to get very tight in the battle for third. They just need to stay on their feet now, these two, and they will be smoothly through to the final. Listen to the noise. You'd think this was for the goal, not just to get to the final. The crowd are absolutely captivated by this race. Step to Baines is getting a little bit tired. It doesn't matter. The USA take it from Great Britain, and look at Femke Bol. Yes, incredibly, she does bring them home in third, just ahead of the French. I would love to know what that split was by Femke Bol, courtesy of the fall and the mix-up between Klaver and Peters at the end of the second leg and the start of the third. Bol ended up starting in about last place, and she somehow brought the Dutch home for the third automatic spot. The French will have to wait and see, but USA and Great Britain were in a class of their own there, and we will see both teams in the final. I guess the question is whether we will get to see Alison Felix again, or whether we have unequivocally brought the curtain down on her international career. Plenty going on in that one, and the two big teams got through.
Well, Rob, when duty calls, Alison Felix answers it. This is how much confidence they have in Alison Felix. They put her on the second leg. You got to have an experienced runner on the second leg, so you take it after the 3-turn stagger, run it in your lane, hit the brake over there, and she absolutely just gave the U.S. a huge, insurmountable lead. But what I love about the prelims in the 4x4, especially for the United States, is they don't know whether they're going to run in the finals, and so they have an opportunity in the prelims just to run absolutely as hard as they can. You saw Jake Stepter Baines really drop the hammer. There's a changeover. Alison Felix to Kaylin Whitney. Kaylin Whitney was here in 2014 for the World Junior Championships. He was running the 1 and the 2. But the Netherlands, what a recovery. They managed to pick the baton up, and then Femke Bol brought them all the way back.
Well, I was half keeping my eye on that, because first and second was hosed and home and hosed. Stepter Baines was definitely wading through some treacle towards the end there, and Yergin looked like she had a little bit more running in her legs, but it didn't matter. First and second for USA and Great Britain, and Bol storming up on the outside. And at some stage we will get to see the splits. And I'm sure the Frenchwoman, Grossier, must have thought, this is great, we've got an automatic spot. As it is, the French and the Swiss have an anxious wait to see whether 3:28.89 and 3:29.11 is quick enough. And Dan's got a quicker computer system than me. He's got it at 49.38 for Femke Bol. Wow. Alison Felix, the unofficial split for her, 50.61. Nicola Yergin on that anchor leg, 50.52, so a couple of tenths ahead of the American. But what a finish by Femke Bol in the 49s. Well, it had to be, because she came from miles behind. A high five. Peters and Klaver will feel awful, but it was just one of those things. I'm not sure it was either of their fault, but they're lucky they had somebody as fast as Bol on the anchor leg.
Wow, Likey Klaver, 49.63 on her leg. What a championship she's really put in. From day one, she's been running.
USA, Great Britain and the Netherlands are automatically through. The French and the Swiss will have to wait and see. So we get this great graphic nowadays which tells you fairly quickly who was the fastest on each leg. The Netherlands, yeah, as you said, Lieke Klaver, and then even faster by Bol at the end, 49.38. Excellent run on that third leg by Victoria Uhulugu. No wonder, learning from her sister, Christina Uhulugu, not only an individual Olympic champion, but twice a world. And the Dutch are through. Or are they? Or are they? I did half wonder whether that might happen. Despite Femke Bol's heroics, the Dutch have been disqualified for that baton drop, so the French take the automatic third spot. Switzerland and Ukraine are now the teams watching and waiting to see whether they can take a non-automatic qualification spot. That is a shame for the Dutch, but rules are rules. So 3:29.11, and it's 3:29.38 0.25 for Ukraine in 4th and 5th. Well, the Jamaicans are on the outside, bronze medalists in Doha and Tokyo. What a quartet from Poland. Arguably the favourites for this one. Svajti Ercetic, Baumgart, Vitan, Holub, Kowalczyk. A triumvirate of excellence with Gatcha in there as well. Double silver, the last world champs and last year. The Canadians were disqualified in the final in 2019, but they were just off the podium last year. Watch for Constantine on the third leg for them. Down to the Italians in lane 4. Real shame that the Bahamians don't start in 5. No, in 3. The Spaniards may well come under some pressure on this first leg by the Belgians on their inside. Spaniards not quite as experienced. Vandenbroek on the lead leg, and they've got Camilla Laus, very experienced anchor leg runner for them. Belgium 5th in Doha, and they made the final last year. And on the inside, the Norwegians, anchored home by Amelie Ewell. Big blow to the Caribbean island of the Bahamas. They don't start in 5, which does make things ever so slightly easier for the women in this second of the semi-finals. Norway in 1, Belgium 2, Spain 3, Italy 4, Canada 6, Poland 7, Jamaica 8. Lane 5 is empty. Top 3 coming back for the final tomorrow night. A long hold, and now they are away. Expect Stacey Ann Williams to run very hard on the outside. She will know the quality of Svajti Ercetic on her inside. And the pole has started really well. Vandenbroek just trying to close the gap on Sandrian of Spain, just on the far side. Spaniard coming through shot now. As Svajti Ercetic has run really well. It's a very long leg, this one. Hope she's got enough left in the tank to hand the baton over. Poland leading at the moment. Remember, the fastest of the non-automatic qualifiers, Switzerland 3:29.1 and Ukraine 3:29.2. So watch the clock for any teams who don't finish in the top 3 here. Svajti Ercetic to Baumgart Vitten. Poland leading just. Second leg is Janelle Bromfield for Jamaica. And when they break from lanes, past the green cones, just watch for those. Jamaicans lead, but Baumgart Vitten will hope to close that gap. Also running well, the Canadians. This is Stavern on the third leg for them, just cutting up Folorunso of Italy, the excellent 400 hurdler. Jamaica a long way clear. Baumgart Vitten trying to close the gap. Bromfield will hand on to Tiffany James. And Folorunso's really using that 400 hurdles strength to good effect here. She's come through into third place at the moment for the Italians. Jamaica from Poland, from Italy, from Canada with Belgium not too far behind. Spain and Norway with big ground to make up. Remember, only the first 3 guaranteed a place in the final. Keep your eye on the time for 3:29.1 and 3:29.2. But the Jamaicans are flying here. Constantine of Canada has come past Triani of Italy, but she's gone really hard, and I wonder whether she might begin to feel the lactic down this last 50, the Canadian, who's got her team up into third, but the Italian looks like she's rallying again. And Gatcha is coming under pressure, the pole, but remember, the poles have got Holub Kowalczyk on the ankle leg. She's really experienced. Cherokee Young is one of the fastest women in the world this year over the 400, so the Jamaicans look like they're in a good position here. Great finish to that leg by the Canadians. It's Natasha McDonald now in second place, but watch for Holub Kowalczyk. She's in third, coming under a little bit of pressure by the Belgians and the Italians. That's the battle for third at the moment. They've got the Canadian in their sights. But out front, it's Cherokee Young. This is a brilliant qualification as we watch the battle for third. There's the Jamaican just coming round the turn now, Cherokee Young. McDonald, a long stride, beginning to feel it, but holding well. Look at this finish by Camila Laus. Well, I tell you what, she's left Holland Kowalczyk for dead here. Wow, Camila Laus takes Belgium up into second. The Canadians hang on for third, 3:24.23. What a finish there by Camila Laus. There was all sorts going on in the battle for the third automatic spot, and in the end the Italians and Poland will have to wait and see whether their times are good enough to usurp those posted by Switzerland and Ukraine in the first of the semi-finals. Excellent running by the Jamaicans and a brilliant finish by Camila Laus of Belgium to bring them home second, and they were miles behind the Canadians down the back straight.
Well, it was Janelle Broomfield running the second leg for Jamaica that really broke it open. She ran a 50.94, and they were anchored then by Cherokee Young. She ran the fastest time in the heat, 50.22. But Camila Laus, 50.93. So some real solid running on the anchor leg by both the Belgian athletes and the Jamaicans.
The Italians in fourth. Fonarunzo ran really well for them. The Italians will go through 3:28.72, and that was faster than Switzerland and Ukraine in the first of the heats. 3:29.34. By a quarter of a second, the Poles will miss out. Switzerland from the first of the semi-finals will take the second of the non-automatic spots, so that big, very experienced team from Poland will not contest the final. And they got a silver in Doha and a silver in Tokyo. Poland are the big casualties there. But what a run by Camila Laus on that anchor leg for Belgium. She finished in fantastic fashion, she really did. Jamaica, Belgium and Canada. And the Italians making their way through with a non-automatic spot. Well, they're always good to watch the 4x4s, and that didn't disappoint, did it? High quality from the Jamaicans, a great late charge by the Belgians, the Canadians hung on, and Italy driving for the line with a season's best. They scrape into the final, but no place for last year's silver medalists, the Poles, who finished in fifth. They're not in the final.